The process is very similar with VirtualBox on a Windows machine. You simply start with by opening up VirtualBox in Windows. We're going to create a new virtual machine. I'm going to call this Ubuntu test. The moment I start using UBU, it knows automatically that I'm dealing with Linux or Ubuntu, but if it doesn't, if your name is different and it doesn't switch to Linux from Windows and to Ubuntu 64-bit, you should make those changes. We're going to select Next. I'll use 2048 megs of RAM, 2048 megabytes of RAM. I'll create a virtual hard disk. I'll select the VDI file type for the hard disk. I want to create a fixed size, and I want to increase it to 15 gigabytes so that it'll match the size of the appliance the publisher provides. It'll click Create. And the new machine has been created. We're going to change the settings. Once again, we're going to uncheck floppy, and we'll make sure that we use 2 processor cores so that it loads faster. For the display, we'll go ahead and change 16 to 64. And select Enable 3D Acceleration to see if that's accepted. For network, we're going to change from NAT to bridged mode. And in our storage, we're going to select the empty disk tray, check the box for live CD or DVD, and we'll choose a disk file and choose our installation media. Here you see version 16. We're going to click OK and then start our virtual machine. It's going to ask us which kind of installation media we want, and if we've been in the habit of installing other virtual systems, we're going to want to pick the, we're going to point to the media where we, the one we want to use, and we'll start and clear our notifications. I clicked into the box and it's giving me a typical information message here. Sometimes you have to be a little patient, but it's not a bad idea to click into the display just to see if things are still percolating. We're going to install it. We don't want to select the other options. We're going to continue. We're going to erase the 15 gigabyte hard disk, virtual hard disk that we selected. Click Install Now. We're going to accept the default values here and click Continue. It will prompt us for our time zone. And here you'll see a reference to the keyboard once again. And we're going to try to use our tab or arrow keys to move. I can type here. If I hit my tab key twice and then a third time after that, the highlight moves over to accept. And that's the trick. So I'm going to type in PGBook. I'm going to select the name that it gives for default and just make it PGBook VM. Actually, the username is all lowercase. I'm going to type the same thing in for my password. I'm going to hit the tab key once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. That'll move the highlight over to the right where I can continue. And now it's, so we had the same problem with the video limitation on version 16, but you can see that if you type test characters in the option to try your keyboard out, and then type something in there like hello world, and then press the tab key 3 times, it'll move the prompt over with the keyboard instead of the mouse, all the way off the screen where you can't see anymore. That's on version 16. So it's an interesting workaround. Version 16 reached a point where it's asking us to restart. It may prompt us to remove the install media. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll minimize this. Or maybe it'll just load. Oh, yeah, it does the same thing. It says remove the installation media. So, and then we'll click into this square after we do that. So we're going to click on settings, storage, the disk tray. We'll click on this and remove the disk from the virtual drive. Now it shows empty. I'll click OK. I'll come back into this, click into the center of this, and press enter. And it's, see, that looks more consistent with the publishers. I put in the same password. I'll click search and I'll start typing terminal. And at that point I can select terminal, and I should be able to put in the same command, ls-al, and hit enter. If I minimize my screens and click on the desktop, I can grab my screenshot.